Now breaking down everything to find the best CS2 investment to make right now, first up we got the knives, the gloves, and the Playskin market. Now this is a very interesting one because a couple of years ago this would not have really been even considered for something like this. However, over the past couple of months we've really seen the area of this specifically explode in popularity and the prices along with it. Now in my honest opinion, this is not the area that's going to get the strongest return. However, it is a game, it's CS2. If you want some really nice skins to play with that are going to appreciate in value, generally speaking, it's not too hard to get that way. You're going to be looking for older skins that are still in demand, coming from cases that are not unboxed an absolute ton. Think about it, if there's a ton of brand new Playskins coming into the game, for that one specifically, the price is probably not going to be able to rise. Traditionally, this goes along with knives and gloves as well. If the knives or gloves you're investing into are constantly being supplied in because people are still opening up that case at a rapid amount, you're probably not going to be able to get a huge profit on them. It's just the supply is too overwhelming for that little demand. Now don't get me wrong, you do need to have demand for these specific items, but this is a very good way to get yourself in the best position. It doesn't guarantee profit, but you're going to be able to put yourself in a solid position for items that are really desirable and items you actually want. Skinland is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free $10 on your first trade. It's where I personally sell my skins because you're going to be getting the highest rate out there. They're offering a maximum amount of money in a minimum amount of time, and it's going to be nearly instant with tons of different payout options. Combine that with their massive marketplace where you're going to be able to buy anything in the entire game you're looking for with a ton of different deposit options here as well. Right now, this is the #1 place to go ahead and sell or buy skins in my personal opinion, so go ahead, use code MasterShiny and check them out today. Now when it comes down to it, if you're looking for the 100% best investment you can make, it's almost guaranteed going to be rare cases. These are traditionally going to be one of the best options because of a couple different things. First up, the supply on these things is going down rapidly. We talk about it constantly, but the unboxing numbers is so strong for nearly every single one of these cases. Varies a little bit by case, but there's a crazy amount of opportunity inside this area specifically because the demand is so high, the supply is going down, and therefore we're left in this situation where there's so much profit to be had with a lot of these cheaper rare cases. The price points on these is definitely not what it used to be, but I still think there's a lot of room to grow for these cases, especially for some of the ones that are the cheaper rare cases. However, there is a downside with this, as of all investments. It's definitely going to be the price points on these things. They are not the prices they used to be. We're still sitting at a very low price, relatively speaking, but it's not super low that you're going to be able to make 300, 400, 500% in a very short time period like you used to be able to. And some of these potential investments coming up, that is a very strong possibility, but they're going to be a lot more risky. I would say if you're looking for an investment that's going to be much more solid and much more safe than the majority of things you're going to be finding, but almost really very strong in the return ROIs and everything we see about these cases, I think it's a very good option, especially if you're looking for something that's going to be very low intensive. You're not going to have to do anything for these cases and they're going to accrue value. Now talking about the Armory, which I believe is one of the most interesting areas right now, we got three big categories. You got your stickers, you got your charms, and you got your collections. Starting off with the stickers, I find this to be one of the best opportunities I've seen out there in a long time, but it really comes down to the fact that they're still in the active Armory, which obviously means we can't really make a solid investment. We don't know where it's going to go. We don't know how long it's going to be sticking around, and therefore the prices can always get lower, especially considering these support one of the best ROIs inside of the capsule and the Armory itself. With that being said, the application numbers for these things are absolutely off the chart, so I'm waiting for the day they get removed to make a huge investment into these. I think there's a lot of potential with this, but it's still in the active Armory. Then we've got our charms, which is a little bit of an interesting area, specifically because we've seen a lot about potentially charms getting replaced, charms getting removed. We don't even know what's going on fully, but it really comes down to the fact that charms are never going to be deleted. That's the one thing about charms, is you can go ahead and detach them from your weapon and get them back and sell them right on the market. You're not going to have a limited supply on these because they're never going to be decreasing. They'd have to be removed, and honestly, even then, I don't really like them too much as an investment. However, the one area I can guarantee everyone's going to be looking at is obviously these collections. There is a lot going on here, and it's really hard to determine which collection you want to get into. We've got a lot of different data like this showing the graphic collection is potentially extremely behind, but we don't really know if that's going to pick up in demand overall. There's a lot of investments that can be made here, but do remember, it's not equivalent to previous collections we've seen in the past. That's because everything here is a light blue or better, which drastically impacts everything we're seeing for prices. It's why your mil specs are only $1, and overall, that actually decreases the profitability of investing in these collections significantly. The grays used to be the very good investment opportunity because of trade ups, and that made your light blues and blues extremely expensive. That's not what we're seeing here, and it's going to be a much different dynamic, so you do need to keep that in mind. Talking about a similar area, we got the Fever, the Gallery, and your active duty cases. Now I'll be completely honest in saying if the Fever case gets removed anytime soon, it's going to be one of the best investment opportunities we have ever seen. I don't think this case stands a chance of getting removed anytime soon because of the sheer demand it has shown. It's nearly past the Gallery in the total revenue that it's generated for Valve, and with that being said, the Gallery, I don't really expect it to go anywhere either. It does have a very strong opportunity if it does get removed because it's going to have a very finite supply. Talking about your active duty cases, the majority of them have just got way too big. A lot of the supplies on these things are pushing collection, 50 to 70 million for the cases that potentially could get removed next, which is definitely going to take a while. If we want to look at the snakebite, we want to look at the clutch. When they got removed, they shot up in price and lost nearly all that value. I think it's going to be a very common scene here. With that being said, if they do get to a low enough price point, I think active duty cases can be a very good investment. I picked up some in the past at 14 cents for the recoil. Obviously, that's a lot cheaper than where they are now, so I have made a profit. The biggest thing about active duty cases is they can always get cheaper, and that's something you need to remember because it's a very easy way to lose a lot of money just because nothing is happening inside of the game. Then we got the area of older collections, more so talking about operation skins because those are really the only ones that are going to be in a sustainable price point with enough demand to actually turn a profit on some of this area. Honestly, if we're talking about this, I think there is a strong opportunity inside this area. It really comes down to how much money you want to put in and the risk you're looking to have. A lot of these items do have the possibility of staying quite stagnant just because the demand inside of this area is not what it used to be. I think this is a very solid opportunity if you're looking for something a little bit more unique to play with and you want something that's probably going to accrue in value over time. The one kind of hidden opportunity that comes with this is because these are older skins and they're not very liquid, it is a very strong possibility they could just absolutely shoot up in price and you can make a very strong profit that way. However, I would not bank on it. Now, speaking about banking the other three collections that got removed, I'm talking about filler skins. Filler skins are a huge opportunity. Now, we talked a lot about the light blue filler skins because those are going to be the exclusive way. They are the only ones coming from the train collection. They've obviously shot up in price. They are a great opportunity. However, there's another opportunity that we have not talked about that's extremely beneficial depending on when you get in, and that's going to be the blue skin filler market. Now, there is 6 collections that are eligible for blue filler skins. 4 of them are one of the ones that were discontinued, not included, no longer dropping, however you want to phrase it, and now we're left with 2 active duty, 4 that are just discontinued or just kind of retired, and that creates a huge opportunity because these ones that were retired really haven't been taking the price impact that we've seen of the train collection. The train blues have shot up in price just because people are really looking at it. However, the other 3 collections, people are not really super interested, and there could be a very strong opportunity. These are still at the end of the day nearly equivalent because they are filler skins. Some of them do vary a little bit whether they go up to a pink tier or not, but really all of these at a baseline level are blue filler skins, and that creates a huge opportunity because people are not looking at them and not pricing them that way. Now, talking about what the best investment is, hands down, if you're looking for something that's going to be very risky but very potential profit, it's going to be these armory items. We just don't know if it's going to get discontinued, if they're going to get removed, whatever happens, but they're going to be very profitable if they do, but they could be stagnant if they don't. Otherwise, skins and other items are going to be very solid options if you're looking to play the game. They're not going to be your best option though. The best option, hands down, is definitely going to be these rare cases. If you want to look at the unboxing numbers, there is hands down, no question, they are the opportunity to be in. The growth is absolutely insane. The fundamentals show the supply is running out really quickly on these cases, and overall, if you want to look at the growth, these things have been in a perfect trajectory, and I don't think honestly anything is going to be changing about this moving forward other than them becoming a better investment than they are now. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.